Y'all know nothing about this. You need to pay attention. Sit back and relax. It's time for Goodall's Country Kitchen.
All right, I already did one intro. I'm gonna have to redo it because I ended up getting a tour from the owner of the kitchen. So stick around to the end of the video and I'm gonna give you the full grand tour of Mike Linnig's kitchen. You don't wanna miss that, stick around for that. All right, special guest, Wayne Nelson came all the way from Kalamazoo, Michigan, just to come and meet me and go to some of the places that he has seen on my review. And he wanted to go to Mike Linnig's. I already did a review here several years ago, but it was a real short one. Didn't show everything they had to offer. But anyway, Wayne, you want to go ahead and tell a little bit about what you brought you here today?
Well, says I'm from Kalamazoo, Michigan, and it was going through kind of a rough time with my wife. She had been in declining health for a year and a half or so, and I was, primary caregiving and spending a lot of time at home. And I stumbled across Barry's videos, I think last September, and just found them fascinating. And they brought a lot of joy and comfort to me in a very difficult time in my life.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm glad I could help.
Yeah, I really appreciate the way Barry supports local business.
Before we move on to the eating portion here, I also got to tell you, Mary and I went to see none other than Lionel Richie last night, along with Earth, Wind, and Fire. And of course, I got some video clips I want to add in where I was embarrassing Mary by singing some of my favorite Lionel tunes. All right, we're headed to the car. Give you a little rendition of what we just saw. We play the games that people play. We made our mistakes along the way. Somehow I know deep in my heart you needed me like I needed you so desperately. We were too blind to see, but then most of all, I do love you still. Also, I want to thank Pittsburgh Dave. Dave Anderson sent me an iron worker shirt. He's a retired iron worker, lives close to Pittsburgh, and his wife's name, Melba.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that, Melba. I'm kind of going off the cuff here. But I'm also going to show you how you can come here. Everybody thinks that Mike Linnig is expensive, but I'm going to show you how it really isn't. If you know how to order correctly, you're going to get just as much food as you can get anywhere in town, and actually for less money. I'm going to show you how that's done in just a second. All right, I'm going to try and do a walkthrough as quick as I can, but there's so much to show here. It's hard to get it all. Okay, they got a bar set up outside. You can get drinks there. There's also a bar inside. They have inside dining also. And this is a big draw for people out here that have kids, is they can turn their kids loose over there in that playground. And they can sit back, have adult beverages,
I have a Diet Coke, I guess.
and enjoy themselves. There's also an indoor pavilion that's been added since I was here last. You see they got the big tents here. They can do private parties, weddings, everything. But this is definitely a place that kids love to come to. Now I'm meandering my way back through to show you the inside, and look at this wood carving. That's unbelievable. I guess that's wood. Yeah, definitely. I wonder if it was, no, they attached some of that. Okay. You order your food over here at the window. They call your name. Excuse me. If you eat in one section in here, you get your own Cokes, but when they call your name, you pick your food up over here at the bar. You can also get server service, table service in this dining room where they give you the full service treatment, as the National Treasure would say. He loves the full service treatment. All right, a lot of pictures up here, family, articles, no shortage of awards. And of course, a lot of celebrities been through here over the years, as you see. That's right, how you doing?
Good.
You Linnig? Are you a family?
Yeah, I'm married to one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm an iron worker at a local 70.
Wonderful. Somebody from Pittsburgh sent me this shirt, as a matter of fact, and I'm giving them a shout out. All right, I just got invited back into the trenches here. If you're wondering if they sell some fish, well, look here. This is just waiting to be picked up by the servers. They're slinging fish. I started off, I've got a fish platter, and this is part of what I was telling you, how if you order correctly, you're going to get as much as you get anywhere else. All right. You see there? There's 2 whole fillets just on one fish sandwich. Okay? So each of these fillets basically could break in half and be 2 sandwiches in each fillet. So this fish platter, even though it's a couple dollars more than most of your fish platters you get around town, you're actually getting 3 times to 4 times more fish than where you're getting somewhere else for a couple dollars less. You could literally bring a date or your wife and a kid or 2, order 1 fish platter, and I upgraded to the onion rings because this is the only place, not the only place, but one of very few handful of places left in Louisville that you, good night, that you can get homemade onion rings. Boy, that was a good move there.
They certainly look delicious.
Yeah, you get a whole tower of onion rings.
I guess this one fell off your plate, so it's mine, right? Now give me that Mary face. I've seen that face in the Goodall family before.
Right. So I think upgrading to the onion rings is like $20 maybe. But like I said, this is enough food for 4 normal human people. And my friend Wayne here graciously picked up the tab. So being that he did that, I went ahead and ordered a rolled oyster. Being that we're going high on the hog here, Wayne is playing it healthy, and he got the broiled cod. Look at that, 2 nice fillets of broiled cod there. And he got the fries.
I did.
And slaw, we both got slaw.
Yeah.
So go ahead, do the honors, Wayne.
I put some lemon on this already, so see what we have.
All right, we're fast forwarding to tomorrow in a time machine clip, and we're out here in Shelbyville at Convenient Food Mart, home of the best meatloaf sandwich on earth. Before we get going, I got to tell you something. If you guys out there my age or older are technologically challenged, can't work a computer very well, you need to pay attention to this ad, because a friend of mine named Robert Darkerty used to go to Eastern High School as a technology guru, and he can help you through any problems that you might have on your computer. And that brings me to this ad, websitetrouble.com. Go ahead and contact him through the website, mention this ad. you will get an hour of free service, which is $200 value. Now, back to the time machine and Mike Linnig's.
That is some mighty fine fish right there.
That's what I like about cod, is that it's like
It's
not very fishy,
I haven't even tried the tartar sauce. That's
nor your malt vinegar.
well, I put the malt vinegar on the. Well, there we go. Okay.
That's a good thing about eating outside. You can get as messy as you want.
Yep. Say, that's some good tartar sauce.
Yeah.
I understand that they make it here
Mhm.
and sell it in bottles to take home. So
There you go.
it's pretty good.
I might get another peek back there on them making the tartar sauce too, because they're well known for their tartar sauce. They
think
sell that by the jar.
Put some lemon on my fish,
Yep.
so I will try some.
All right. Well, now I'm going to go ahead and start in. Man, it's so much food. I don't even know where to really start. And I got an extra plate, but man, because see, here's the deal. It took me a long time to learn. I used to get my own fish platter. Melissa would get a fish platter. The kids would get this and that. And then we'd end up taking most of the food home. And you know, I have that no to go box policy. So coming here, we used to order it wrong. We'd spend a lot of money and end up with way more food than what we should have ordered. All right. They got the tartar sauce. I ordered extra. Put that on there, and I ain't even fronting. You know, I come showered in grace. We'll put the grace on straight ahead of time. We'll be eating this Viking style. You know, one thing, when I get ready to devour some food, I can almost hear that Viking battle cry in the background.
Impressive, Barry.
White flaky cod. Their cod is North Atlantic, frozen at sea to assure total freshness when they thaw it out at the restaurant. It's just as fresh as when they pulled it onto the boat. So good. All right, so how you doing over here, Wayne?
I'm doing okay, but I'm going to tell you what. I've never tried Grace before. Can't get it in Michigan. But I don't like super hot. I like hot sauce. I have quite a collection of them myself.
Well,
I'm
you
going
know,
to try that because
nothing like being saved by grace.
well, that's good. It's hot. Now, Barry,
Wash it down with a little diet.
I'm going to do that. Let's see what we got here. Did you hear that?
Yeah, quite a little bubble action you got going there. You notice I ordered the extra tartar for a reason. The onion rings, I actually like onion rings with tartar sauce and a little grace. They got a pretty impressive setup here. You hear the names being called out on the loudspeaker behind us. You go up, you order, they call your name out, you get your food, and you pay as you get your food. Pretty efficient system. You know, it cuts out a lot of the labor of having 100 servers waiting on people. Get the food out way quicker doing it this way. Thanks to Cindy Johnson, I have my own silverware. Try this coleslaw out. Mmm. I love it. Their cabbage, actually, it's got a little bite to it, you know?
It does.
Mmm.
That's good stuff.
Remind you again, stick around for the end of the video. Going to give you the full tour of the kitchen back there. And I talked to one of the owners. He's actually an in-law of Mike Linnig's. He's actually married to Mike Linnig's granddaughter. So I talked to him, and I might actually talk to Mike Linnig's grandson in just a minute. And I talked to Mike Linnig's granddaughter, another granddaughter that was in the kitchen.
Well, Barry, you know, I ordered one of these rolled oysters. That's something I never heard of before I saw your videos. And
People outside of Louisville don't know nothing about rolled oysters.
This one doesn't look quite like those Catholic Church Lent videos, but I'm sure it's good. So
It's actually bigger,
it is.
but the question is, does it have as many oysters in it as the ones at the Catholic Church picnic? Look at that. Big as your head almost. Well, a normal human's head, not mine. All right. I'll get my knife.
Well, look at that. Man.
Ooh. Ooh.
There's some good. There's a lot of oyster in that.
Let me cut mine open.
What do you like to put on it?
Usually cocktail or tartar. I didn't ask for any cocktail.
Oh, we got some.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, there's another one down.
Oh, yeah, chock full. Chock full of oysters. There's several oysters in there.
Oh. Let's try
I'd say at least 7 or 8 oysters in this thing. Here we go. Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound.
Well, it's time I learned less than nothing about rolled oysters, so I'm going to give it a shot here.
Go on, Wayne. Go on with your bad self.
Well, that is good. That is good. Kind of like a oysters in a modified hush puppy with more wheat and less corn, I guess you could say.
Cole, your order's ready at the bar. Cole.
You don't mind if I try a bite of your
No.
fish, do you? I got that extended fork technique down pat. Now let me try a bite with the cocktail sauce on it. Mmm. Get an oyster in every bite. This is actually, I've had several rolled oysters here before. This is probably the best one I've ever had. And I'm not talking about just here. I'm talking about period, anywhere. I had a gentleman that stopped me when I was on my way out here. He recognized me from the channel. And he told me that he's been coming here his whole life and that Mike Linnig's food has gotten even better than it ever was, which I have to agree.
Besides that Diet Coke, we're enjoying an adult beverage too.
Wash it on down. What kind you got there?
We got Fall City Ale.
You're kidding. That's another Louisville thing for y'all that ain't from around here. Fall City Beer is an old-time brewery from Louisville that goes way, way back.
That's
How you like it?
I do like it.
Good.
I like everything about this establishment. I mean, indoor areas are nice. That if you're dining indoors, it's very comfortable in there. But this outdoor area is something special. It's a pretty nice day.
It's a really nice day.
Really nice evening, and
You know what I like? It's not even windy. I think it's about 90 degrees. And with all these big shade trees, they got huge old oak trees. It's actually not hot at all out here. For y'all that don't know the story about Grace, I went into Publix the week that they opened in Middletown, and I was going down the international aisle and saw this hot sauce. What caught my eye, it says very hot right there. Anytime something says very hot, I'm getting it. So that was the week before the Catholic Church Lent fish fries. So I was at the first fish fry, and I'm putting on the hot sauce, and I look and I see Grace. I'm like, well, how fitting is this that I'm here during the religious holiday of Lent and I brought in Grace. And you know, as you know, we're saved by grace. And just coincidentally, I incorporated that into the videos. Can't get enough Grace. Okay. I'm not going to front and sit there and tell you that I ate all that food, because I didn't. I just had to show that as an example of how instead of one person ordering all that, you divide it amongst 3 or 4. But I do have enough room left for this chocolate parfait, which comes with chocolate, cream, and Oreo. Look at that. You still got you a plastic spoon or something?
no,
Take you a dip.
I'm good. No, you.
Lionel Richie. We play the games that people play. We made our mistakes along the way. Somehow I know deep in my heart you needed me. My voice cracked. Had that pudding in my throat. So good. All right. Stick around. I'm going to finish up this parfait. I'd already done one interview with one of the owners, and I'm going to go back in, and I want to talk to the grandson of Mike Linnig. So stick around for that. I'm going to add it on to the interview I already did when I first got here. So don't go away. Back here is about as big as the fairgrounds. You got anything you want to add?
Well, I married into this family when I got out of the service in 1988. I started working for my wife's uncle, who's a bartender here. We met, and the rest is history as far as that's concerned. But this is the hardest working family in show business, I can tell you.
That's what I've been told. You don't stay in business for 100 years unless you're doing it right.
That's right. My wife's grandpa was Mike Linnig.
Is that right? Well, you married into quite a nice family and a heck of a nice business.
Walk over here with me.
Oh, cool. I'm really getting to go back in the trenches now. Excuse me. Excuse me, young lady. I'm sorry.
There was no
This is where we're back.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So this is Mr. Goodall.
Hi there.
This is Mike Linnig's granddaughter.
Well, it's very good to meet you. My name's Barry Goodall. I don't know if you've ever seen my YouTube channel. I did a video here once years ago and I'm back to do the full video. The time I did it before was a short one, but I got a guy that came all the way from Kalamazoo, Michigan, just to come here and be on my show and eat your food. Well, wow, I really appreciate it. How long you been working here, young lady?
Let's see, I started about age 6. Started,
86?
No, not 86. Age 6.
Age 6. Okay.
Voting them little white bakery boxes. We got a penny a box.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've been coming here for over 50 years, and I've seen a lot of transformation here, but the food stayed the same, you know? All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Just take a walk around. If you got any questions at all, let me know.
Well, I really appreciate it.
This is your, one of your orders.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, no, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry, I lied to you.
Okay. Well, that's all right. I'm not in any rush. We have one of the owners here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm
there,
Bill
sir.
Linnig. I'm one of the grandsons of Mike Linnig, and then now we're third generation. So we've been going on. This is our 100th season, and next year will be our 100th year. So we were started in 1925. So we've been going a long time.
You know what? You don't have a restaurant last 100 years if the family is not hands-on, totally involved 24/7.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's what you have to
Yeah,
do.
we had somebody come in before and interview me and said, "Well, how long do you think you're going to, keep going?" And I said, "It'll keep going as long as one of us is willing to go back in that kitchen and do that hard work."
Nobody cares like you do.
Yeah. So we still get back there and do it,
Okay.
especially during the brush period. Then we get back there.
Okay. So I've already done the inside tour. Is there anything out here in particular that you want to
Let me show you some.
show
cool
me around?
Let me show you some cool stuff. Here,
Okay.
here,
Just
let's
follow me
walk
along
over.
here if you would, Wayne. What we got here?
So we had some trees that we lost, and so we started doing wood carvings with guys with a chainsaw. And this guy did this with a chainsaw, and his name is Abby Peterson, and he's from a little town down here in Kentucky. And he just happened to start doing it. He won the national championship about 2 years ago. And then last year he came up, he said, "I just want to do a practice piece." I said, "Well, okay, well, this is your practice piece." I said, "That's pretty good."
That's just one piece of wood.
Well,
huh?
yeah, it's one, he had to make it in 2 sections. But,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
yeah.
I see that one little line through
yeah,
there.
but
Yep.
that's a wood carving, and he did it with chainsaw, and he calls it an eagle spirit animal.
And did he do these other pieces in
No,
here?
he didn't do that one, but he did these over here. I'll show you those over here.
Okay.
All the fish and stuff he
We'll
carved.
come on over here.
And we had him do, we told him we wanted to do an archway. So we already had the 2 trees here. And we said we want an archway. And he said, "Well, let's put fish on it." And we're like, you're walking through a tunnel of fish. So we don't have the arch up there yet, but he's just now came back and did all the fish.
You all know, longtime followers, that I'm famous for my patented double snapping turtle move. So look at here. My granddad actually used to catch snapping turtles this big. This is not an exaggeration. But yeah, that's where I get the patented double snapping turtle move from. And what else can you tell us about all this? The different
this is all
fish?
fresh water on this one. And then on the other side, he wanted to do all salt.
Is that
These are all salt water. So
very cool?
he came back and finished that all up for us. And then I was telling him a story about my son. My son is in the Marine Corps. He's an F-18 pilot. So I was telling him a story about my son. And he said, "Well, I'm going to carve you a jet." Well, let me show you this one.
What's your son's name?
His name is Bill Linnig, too.
Bill?
But his
If you're watching this video, I want to thank you for your service. Thank you, Bill. Oh,
He carved me a jet.
nice.
I told him the story. My son had to eject out of one of them about 2 years ago. I was telling him the story. He said, "Well, I'm going to carve you a jet." I said, "Well, that'd be cool." So anyway, he carved me an F-18 Hornet. And then,
Was it in action or just a malfunction?
He sucked a bird down the intake on a takeoff. And he
Okay.
caught on fire. The whole plane caught on fire. Anyway, I was going to put his call sign right here. It's going to be Major Wild Bill Linnig. So that'll be
Nice.
cool.
Oh,
And then-
before I forget, can you tell me, or do you have any idea how many pounds of cod y'all go through in a season?
Oh, in the season, I mean, we'll go through 6,000 pounds a week right now.
6,000
then you figure
pounds.
if you're 40 weeks, so whatever that works out to, 240,000,
240,000. Okay.
240,000 pounds.
Never was very good at math except for
we shut-
pari-mutuel wagering.
Yeah, we shut down in November and December. We tried to get our vacations and get kind of recharge the batteries a little bit.
240,000 pounds of cod. Now you think they ain't doing something right here? Put your calculator to that.
Well, this is my dad. He caught that down in Florida.
Is that a grouper? What is
It's a sea bass.
Oh, wow.
And he built a trailer. He brought it back up here. This is the old restaurant. And then they filleted it out right here and gave it away. So he talks all about that.
Look at there. Big, yeah, newspaper article.
And then,
Oh, look. Herb Crook, my classmate from Eastern High School.
it was all farmland around here. It was just a little restaurant. And we had a bunch of farmland all around us. And every time they would work the ground, till it up, my dad would walk up and down through the corn rows and wait for the first
all
rain.
Those came off from
All
y'all's
those
farm.
right here in this area. So the Ohio River used to be like the Waterson Expressway for the Indians.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a burial mound not too far, probably about 2 miles away. that
Right.
The University of Louisville at one time came down and did an excavation on. So
I've
yeah.
got one of these type of, I guess that's an axe head, right?
Yeah, axe, tomahawk.
Mine's a little bigger than that one, but that was found on my great-grandfather's farm down in Butler County.
Yeah. So this all used to be a hotbed. I'm sure they used that river like a expressway.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
So that's part of some of this stuff.
Is that a coyote over there?
That's a coyote. No, we didn't get that one. I did get some of these deer. Not the big one, but I did get one of the little ones. I was so proud of it. This was an old time thing. This is my uncle. When the Miller Lite had that promotion, you remember less filling tastes great,
Yeah,
less
yeah.
filling? Well, they said, well, we got this bull, so we'd like to bring it out. I said, okay, that's cool. So they brought it out. Well, they opened up the door and they walked it right inside, right in here, and the bull laid his head right on top of the bar right here, and that was my uncle. And he said, and they said, well, you can ride this one. So he got up there and rode, was sitting on
didn't
top
go
of
bucking or
no
anything?
bucking and stuff. It was pretty tame, but it was a big old 2,000 pound bull, whatever. So
Wow.
anyway, that's another thing.
That's what it looked like. What, is that the original building?
original
1925?
Yeah, and then it caught on fire in 1966, and they rebuilt it up here, and they made this one more, pretty much all out of concrete.
Okay.
So they didn't want to have to repeat having to rebuild after a fire.
Okay. Awesome. And is that your grandma?
That's my mom.
Okay.
And my aunt. My dad and my uncle were in business for a long time. Oh, I know what else I can show you. Let's walk over to the pavilion. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Was a tree we had when we first decided to do those tree carvings.
Uh-huh.
And we had a guy from French Lick, Indiana, Jason Emmons, came and did this. And we told him my son had just gone into the Marines, and I said, we want a military one. So he's got the Minuteman, he's got the Eagle, he's got the Liberty Bell, and then he's got the Civil War guys facing each other. He's got Iwo Jima, but he did this all with a chainsaw.
That's unbelievable.
And then if you look, Uncle was a pilot in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
He was a bomber pilot. And you see the leather helmet and the goggles. So we gave him a picture, and he did a pretty good likeness.
Nice.
This tree, as long as I've been alive, it had never gotten up to the restaurant.
Really? Huh.
It had got close, but it had never gotten up all the way.
That's wild. My friend owns Cunningham's, the Creekside Inn.
Yeah, now they get flooded.
Every year.
Yeah.
They get flooded.
Yeah, we've never been flooded out, other than 1937, which was like the biggest flood in
Right.
Louisville's history.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's about it. It's a family place. We're kind of like our own little thing. We're different. We like it that way.
I hear you. Do it your way, like Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, there you go.
I appreciate your time.
All right.
And thank you for the tour. That's very
Okay.
nice. Well, there you have it, folks. Not only did we get to review the food, but we got a full history of Mike Linnig's and the 4 generations of family that still run it to this day. What'd you think of your experience here today?
This is just an exceptional facility, full of history. As I told the family members, they've got the history here. They got enough history here that you could line the history of about 600 other restaurants in Jefferson County up end to end, and they'd still have it here. So I do hope you watch the tour of the facility and a little bit about the history of this place, because it's very interesting.
Yep.
And Barry, thank you so much for having me join you this evening.
Well, it's my pleasure.
Meant the world to me. Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming and joining me. And this is an example of restaurant Americana. You know, 4 generations still making it work to this day, and there's going to be generations more still running it, probably way after we're dead and gone. So this is like a hidden jewel in the state of Kentucky here. And when you come to Louisville, it's a rite of passage. You got to come here. Anything else you got?
The food's good too. The food
All right.
is very good.
Very good. My best food experience that I've ever had here, believe it or not. And I've been here 100 times. And with that, y'all don't know nothing about this Mike Linnig's restaurant.
Nothing.
Now you know the facts of why I'm on a mission. You're always welcome back to Goodall's Country Kitchen.